Yes, sir.
No Chewbacca yet.
Countdown, baby, countdown.
Everything.
Good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 40 of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Krumah. I'm joined with my other host, Lady Che.
And we're going to take a brief non-commercial pause for just a quick second. We're having technical difficulties where we're going to put ourselves on mute for a quick second, and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. It's about to get interesting. Commercial break.
And so we're back.
And that non-commercial break was brought to you by, as Professor Black Truth says,
Power Tools.
Okay, here we go. Good evening.
Good evening. So I'm your host, Chan Krumah. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. And our guests tonight will be Shabaka Sankori, Ramel Understanding, and LaJosh Castillo, otherwise known as Christianata. And they will be joining us shortly. Ramel, give your intro.
Please, this is Ramel Understanding, the angel of peace from the east, understanding understood in the neighborhood near you, bringing the hope without the door, official frontline campaign. Salute to the fallen soldiers. We're on our military grind, we're on military time, and we're utilizing our military mind. The Black Imperial Army has arrived.
Dun, dun, dun.
Power Tools.
And we will be discussing several things tonight. The first thing is Tangibles 2021. The next thing is the Kim Potter trial. That was the officer that was involved in the murder of Daunte Wright last year. So we'll be discussing that. The Democrats voting against Biden's vaccine mandate. And we're still waiting on you Biden supporters to tell us what tangible benefits we're going to get from a Biden administration, because Biden's been in office for over a year and we have got nothing tangible from having him or Kamala Harris in office. So we're still waiting on you Biden supporters to call in, tune in, chime in, comment what tangible benefits we're getting from a Biden administration. The Omicron Variant, jury begins, or the verdict is out for Jussie Smollett. He was found guilty. Strahan's flight was delayed until today. Vaughxx Booker Case in Indiana. The Emmitt Till Case has been closed. and Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. And I think we got some trolls. Oh, you said there's no sound. Oh, we're back. We're back.
We're going to take a non-commercial commercial break. Technical difficulties. But we're back.
Okay. So the first things first is Tangibles 2021. In 2020, a brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed came out with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. And it was shedding light on a malign neglect policy that's been in effect for the past 50, 60 years by the Democratic Party, which lumps us into broad, ambiguous terms such as people of color, minorities, marginalized, disenfranchised, downtrodden, disadvantaged, underserved, underprivileged, and the list goes on and on. And what we're saying on Frontline Black News and what the brother Tariq Nasheed was saying on his program was we're no longer going to be lumped into these broad, ambiguous terms. Any politician that is seeking your vote, they're going to have to do something specifically for you. Otherwise, they're not going to get our vote, Black family. And when we talk about us and we're talking about the foundational Black Americans, the American descendants of slavery, the people that built this country, the people whose the wealth of this country was generated off the backs of, and the people that can trace their lineage back to the killing fields of the South during chattel slavery, plantations, sharecropping, whatever the case may be, but they can trace their lineage back to the South. And we're no longer going to fall for this malign neglect policy. So any politician that is seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote. And you say, what's tangible? Tangible is something real, something concrete, something substantive, something you can touch, feel, measure, count, i.e. a check. Cut the check in the form of $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people. So we are demanding them pay in full if they want our vote. Otherwise, we're not going to participate in this political process anymore. And the Democratic Party and the Republican Party can both collapse before our very eyes, because we're supposed to be 80% of the Democratic Party. We're supposed to be the backbone of the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party has not done nothing tangible for us. And they don't have any sign anytime soon seem to be doing anything tangible for us. So we're saying that we should basically boycott this political process if these Democrats continue to take our vote for granted and continue to practice this watermelon politics and use us for an numerical value and then abandon us during our time of need.
Hello,
so any politician that is seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote. And we continue to hashtag on to Tangibles 2021. I came up with that hashtag. You need to pay me for that hashtag, Facebook, because that is my hashtag. I came up with that hashtag, and I've been promoting it all year long. And as this year winds down, we're going into 2022, and the tangibles still remain. It will be Tangibles 2022. So that was Tangibles 2021. The next thing is the Kim Potter. But before we get to that, did anybody have anything to add about tangibles?
Cut the check. Reparations or resign. Pretty much how it is.
Ramel, did you have anything to add? Ramel, did you have anything to add?
I think we lost him.
Okay, we must have lost our anchor, man. We're going to continue on. So the next topic is the Kim Potter trial. So for those that don't know, a brother by the name of Daunte Wright was killed last year at the hands of the police department in Minnesota. And the officer in question is by the name of Kim Potter. And she's on trial this week. And they're basically trying to blame Daunte Wright for his murder. And this chick mistaken her gun for a taser. or mistaking her taser for a gun. And now Daunte Wright is dead. So the trial has begun. And
Shabaka sent Corey on the line as well.
She faces first degree manslaughter. Second degree requires that them provide culpable negligence. Neither charge requires proof that she intended to kill. And state sentencing guidelines call for just over 7 years in prison on the first charge and 4 years on the other. So she'll be facing a total of 11 years if she is convicted for the manslaughter of Daunte Wright. It should be a longer sentence because this chick purposely killed this boy, this young man.
Right.
And we're talking about the Kim Potter trial, Shabaka.
Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. And well, she's a 26-year veteran, and she knows the difference between a taser and a handgun, and if she shouldn't have the fucking job, man. That's all it is to it. Put her ass under the damn jail, special circumstance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Share some footage of this.
And then I'm greeting y'all from the great state of Florida this evening.
Share screen.
Yeah, you from the sunshine. You in the sunshine state now.
Yeah, man. You know, but in the deep south too. You know what I'm saying, man? And this is it's interesting. You know what I'm saying?
He over there with the alligators.
Yeah, man, and then looking at this terrain right here, it's all like, for all practical purposes, swampland. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think California got better palm trees.
Right. So on your screen, you can see that she mistaken a taser for a gun.
Right. Okay. And then too, for being there doing that job 26 years, and plus, from what I understand, that she had also trained those up under her with less tenure as well too. So what type of example is that setting? Number one. Number two is we all know what the underlying thing is. You know, come on, man. You know, let's be real, people. You know what I mean? It's murder. Period.
Yeah, so they're trying to say that he had pending robbery charges, allegedly for holding a woman at gunpoint and demanding $820 in cash. She had to pay her rent. This is Daunte Wright right here. So they're throwing everything at this young man, trying to say that he caused his own death, and it wasn't negligence on the part of Kim Potter, which clearly was negligence, and she should be tried and convicted for such.
Well, she killed him, right?
And it should be capital murder, not manslaughter.
Yes, sir.
Motherfuckers on the street catch murder cases easier than that.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, shit, yeah.
You know what I mean? For motherfucking shooting in the direction of or anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Didn't even do nothing.
You just shooting in the direction and they giving you 20 years off top.
But of course we do know. Yeah, but of course we do know how the state is making their money off of it, you know, and then they got these damn private prisons that they're trying to fill up as well, too.
Hell yeah.
You know, that's big money. You know what I'm saying? Real big money. Because there's more people over to the prison industrial complex that is building like commodity goods, you know, furniture, lampshades, shit like that. And then the main motherfuckers that they got out there, man, he's buying it wholesale, selling it to the general public retail is Ethan Allen, Walmart, let's see, what's the other one? Is Ikeki or something like that.
IKEA.
Or
IKEA.
Ikea. Yeah. You see, so they're making big money off of that, and so far, practical purposes is slave labor.
So indeed, my question is not to get off topic, but since we're talking about prison industrial industry, man, is Jordan still involved with that, man?
Okay, well, the way I heard, man, is that there was a white dude by the name of Michael Jordan as opposed to the NBA player. But I'm willing to still bet dollars to donuts that Michael Jordan has invested off into the NBA player. Then I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts on it. You see, so once again, due to our lack of cohesiveness and then due to the miseducation of our children, you see what I mean? This type of shit will perpetuate. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it will. You see?
It's sad, man. It's real sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah, so this happened
after. And as General Romero, as the anchorman, has stated, many times before, which he's right about, you say, they're making big money off of that, man, and it's to destroy the image of the black male.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they want to do with the black male is that they want to exterminate them. You see, they could breed, they could breed with the black female, but they want to exterminate the black male.
Exactly.
And then, staying on topic too, they want the police. They want the police department to look like they're heroes.
Yeah,
exactly.
They want to maintain that image. That's why a lot of times, they don't want to sentence these police officers that do so much wrong.
Oh, exactly. Indeed. You see what I'm saying? And then what really proves your point on that there, Mr. Romero, is out in Los Angeles, California in the late 1990s, early at the turn of the millennium. You had the Rampart scandal, you know what I mean? Where these police officers are going out there, killing them, doing drugs,
doing the most.
Yeah, extortion, shit like that. And then I'll never forget that I got a jury duty summons out of L.A. County. And I had to tell them when I called the jury commissioner, I said, hey, look, y'all going to have to excuse me. You're going to have to take Shabak off your list. For the simple fact is that just with it being painted in the subject of a RICO investigation, I am forced to vote anybody not guilty that comes up before.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it would be wise, for you guys to just take me off your list, and then I ain't never heard from them again.
Yeah.
And I like it that way. Yeah, because true enough, somebody, who could be totally innocent and needs to be exonerated, you just do that holdout for them, you know what I mean? But then with them being the subject of, I'm talking about the DA's office of LA County, being the subject of a criminal investigation themselves, I just have to put the person not guilty due to moral consciousness.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Right.
So therefore, and so which means is that the trial is not fair. And then with Brother Che having a degree, in that field, that there would, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Che, that there's lack of due process.
Yep. Well, the reason why they stopped him is because he had an air freshener or something hanging from his rear, and that's the reason why they stopped him. And when they stopped him, instead of reaching for a taser, they reached for a gun and killed him.
Right. Okay, but keep in mind, though, from what I understand, is that the research in this case as well too is that's why that they would have the taser on the opposite side of the weapon, so that they would use the. So therefore, there's more of an indication that they're going for the taser as opposed to the actual weapon. So, when she's talking about she made a mistake after 26 years is bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
And let's look
She's lying out her ass.
Big time. And then not to mention the fact that with her doing the job for 26 years, goes to tell me that she has been involved in at least 2 shootings.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, just off the law of mathematics. You see what I'm saying? And then to sit up there and tell that third-place lie, I reached for my taser. Okay, see, that's the same bullshit Johannes Mercilessly said in the murder of Oscar Grant.
Yep.
You see? oh, I thought I was reaching for my taser, but you got him handcuffed, so now you got him bound, okay, and then you shoot him in the back. You see what I'm saying? Under California law, from what I understand, that's special circumstance, but they cannot convict him of the murder warrant. I think that the most he got was, he only did like 2 years at the most, you know what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure he did that at Camp Snoopy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't walk no concrete, man. Yeah, he didn't walk no concrete, you know what I'm saying? Like so many, you know, a lot of political prisoners are doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so this... Yeah, so this case is adjourned. The case is adjourned until Monday, adjourned till Monday. So we'll keep y'all updated on what happens with Kim Potter. We're hoping and praying that she gets convicted of manslaughter. They're charging her with manslaughter. They should be charging her with first-degree murder, but that's
special circumstance.
Man, why they don't do like they do with regular people and give them the death penalty and shit like that?
Because they don't have the death penalty in the state of Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Now, could they get a change of venue out of state for that to enhance the death penalty?
Out of state, but in this state, they don't have the death penalty, so they're charging her with first-degree manslaughter, first and second-degree manslaughter.
Okay.
So
and you said that the most of those you will get would be, what was it, 11 years?
Yeah, total of 11 years.
At the most. Yeah, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Maintaining the image of one and degrading the image of the other.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm quite sure they're going to start putting together a GoFundMe page for them and all that other type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like they did with the dude that killed the youngster with the Skittle bag.
Zimmerman.
Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute. Didn't that, whoa, hold on a second, y'all. Didn't that case happen in Florida?
Yo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Live in the beehive.
Yeah. Well, we get around. You know what I'm saying? You know, we get around. But however, though, for one thing, though, I do want to say is that there have been those who have challenged me, you know, with the platforms of my Black Experience Enhanced. You know, when are you going to go to the South? Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm here in the South now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With all due respect, I just got one thing to say to the government. And that's fuck the police.
FTP all day, every day. Abolish the police.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? It's because, you know, they're supposed to be out here maintaining order and what have you. In fact,
and they doing stupid shit like this.
You say, then you ain't got no order. You know what I'm saying? What you got is tyranny. Exactly.
Tyranny
at its best.
No, absolutely.
And this happened right after George Floyd got killed.
It says justice without power is impotent, but power without justice is tyranny.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. You see what I mean? And, you know, and everybody should not be on the edge, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they go out there, man, they go about their normal lives, man, going to work, going to the grocery store.
Trying to go get a 40-ounce of motherfucking 211, you know what I mean?
Right.
Ain't nobody trying to fuck with nobody, man. You know what I mean? And just because the windows are tinted, that don't mean you fucking pull me over.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to move us on to our next topic. The next topic is Democrats voting against Biden's mandate.
This is a debit call from...
Hello.
Hey, Silo.
Yeah, not yet.
An inmate in the correctional institution.
Ramel got this.
Silo, what's going on?
Ramel operated the party line.
We live, baby. Yeah. Mr. Silo, how you be? Hey, what's going on, brother?
Hello,
brother.
Hey, how you doing, Silo?
Peace, brother.
We just got done talking
what's
about
up,
the
brother?
Kim
Peace,
Carter
man.
trial. Peace.
We got Paris on the line. We got Brandy on the line. We got Josh on the line.
Okay.
Every day, all day.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Josh ain't
Okay.
joined us yet,
Yeah,
but
Josh
he'll
ain't
be
joined us
joining
yet.
us soon.
Allegedly. But we, Ramel operating the party line over there. He got all the phone lines buzzing.
All right, so I'm moving us on to our next topic,
That's
which is the Democrats voting against Biden's mandate. So Senate voted Monday to overturn Jim Crow Biden's vaccine or test mandate for private businesses. 2 Democrats joined the GOP opposing the mandate, but the resolution is unlikely to pass the House. The Biden administration insists the policy is needed to slow the coronavirus pandemic, and the 2 Democrats in question are Joe Manchin of Wisconsin and John Tesser Manson and John Tesser of Montana. They voted Wednesday, to overturn President Jim Crow Biden's vaccine or test mandate for private businesses for more than 100 employees.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility.
Okay, and the only thing that stuff is, as you already know, man, that shit is genocide, death jab, you know what I mean? And like I said, how does the bastard who owns the patent to the disease owns the damn patent to the fucking vaccine? That don't add up.
Right.
That's an insult to our intelligence. I mean, this motherfucker owns the patent. He owns the patent to the vaccine and owns the patent to the disease.
Yeah, so the source for this is the Business Insider. And it says 2 Democrats joined every Republican senator in voting against Biden's private employer vaccine or test mandate. And Biden announced in September that the Department of Labor's Division of Occupational Safety and Health Administration, otherwise known as OSHA, would require large companies to ensure that all employees were fully vaccinated by January 4th or have them tested on a weekly basis and masked in the workplace. Wednesday's vote is all but certain to fail in actually reversing the policy. However, a measure lacked veto-proof support and is unlikely to pass in the House at all. So they're attempting to overturn this mandate, but they're saying that they're not going to be successful, but we shall see. Many opponents of the private employee mandate, including GOP lawmakers, have misleadingly framed the rule as a strict vaccine mandate. In reality, the policy allows companies to decide whether their employees can opt out of vaccination and instead be tested on a weekly basis.
I think anything that Hope Biden wants to do, everybody should just back out of it.
We lost everybody. Yeah, so the GOP and 2 Democrats are doing their best to overturn Biden's mandate. So we'll keep y'all updated on what happens with that. We just lost our guests. Hopefully they call back in.
It's because, Ramel got the party line going. He's trying to man the phone. 1 phone, 4 lines.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a recipe for disaster.
And we lost our viewers.
Not really. You're probably viewing us somewhere else, but we'll be all right. Eric, carry on.
Come back, viewers. So continuing on, Republicans and some Democrats, however, argue that the vaccine and testing mandates will hurt the economy and American workers and amount to federal overreach. Several Republican state attorney generals sued to overturn the mandate or the policy last month, and an appeals court ordered OSHA to suspend the policy. While Republican lawmakers largely say they are pro-vaccine and some are downplaying the severity of the coronavirus pandemic, Senator Mike Braun, an Indiana Republican who has led the effort to repeal the rule, claimed without offering evidence that there was minimal risk of COVID-19 transmission at the workplace. Hardly any transmission is occurring at the business level or what you do during the day, Braun said during a press conference Monday. At Wednesday's GOP press conference, Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas warned there would be an economic shutdown, brownouts.
What shut
down? At Wednesday's GOP press conference, Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas warned there would be an economic shutdown, brownouts,
when
increasing inflation, and other hardships if the mandates were enforced.
So now we're down to extortion again.
Yeah. But Democrats
and they didn't want Trump.
Yeah. Ain't that a bitch? Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, and then let me put it out there, and we're still waiting for you damn Biden supporters, to give us a call.
Oh, that's
and
our
we'll
next.
Be on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced Tuesday night, and the number is 516-418-5996. And we've been waiting to hear from you guys, going on almost 8 months now, in which y'all not saying nothing, tells us everything.
That's our next topic, so that's perfect.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
An inmate at Toledo Correctional Institution. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent call,
Black family, this chair
call
I'm
is from a
sitting in
corrections
is
facility and
highly
is subject to
uncomfortable.
monitoring and recording.
It leaned back too much.
Thank you for
It's
using
just
GTL.
uncomfortable. Whoever thought this
Sorry
chair was a
about
good
that,
idea, smoke a major bass run.
Yes, sir. Okay. And then also, too, like I said, so what I'm going to do, gentlemen, I'm going to have to lay it on down because I got to get up early tomorrow.
Alright,
Shabaka, we just got to your topic.
Relate what we're doing on Tuesday night.
Shabaka, do your topic.
And I'm gonna ask General Paris to produce
Black
it.
consciousness,
Yes,
past,
sir.
present, and future.
Yes, sir. Okay, and I'm gonna note that there on the piece of
Shabaka, do your
paper, so
topic.
we'll probably get it produced tomorrow. Okay, and definitely check us out there, ladies and gentlemen, on Frontline Black
Shabaka.
News. Definitely check us out on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Definitely check us out there on the Revolutionary Agenda. And definitely, Jussie Paris from Mayor Denver, Colorado, 2023.
Oh,
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying? We need that man elected.
Yes,
Shabaka.
Okay, so I'm going to bid you all a good night. Like I said, I'm in the Eastern time zone, and I got to work tomorrow. I got to pay the
Nice,
bill, bro. And thank you so very much for that.
Alright, we got to do
Yes, sir.
Shabaka's we
Okay.
got to do Shabaka's Corey's topic for him.
Peace, brother.
All right, so the next topic was Shabaka's topic, which is where
Go
are you
ahead.
Biden supporters at? We're still waiting to hear from you, Biden supporters. You've gone into hiding. Where are you at? We're still waiting on you to tell us what tangible benefits we're getting from a Biden administration.
We
It's been
realize you've
over
been
a year.
hoodwinked.
We realize you've been hoodwinked and bamboozled and
Bang your head.
had the wool pulled over your eyes.
Yeah. No worries. We got you. We'll dust you
I
off
don't
and
got no
add some
better. I
enlightenment
don't
to
even
your
have
program.
I don't even have Vincent.
Now, who are you talking to?
I don't have an ankle monitor anymore.
We're gonna have to mute. We're gonna have to mute
They gotta
Ramel.
have my ankle monitor on. That's how you know we're real revolutionaries.
Jesus
We got
Christ.
people in the nut house and in the penitentiary. We're bringing them straight to the front line.
We're gonna welcome our political prisoners back into the fold.
Go ahead. The revolution must continue. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so we're
That's
still
that Black
waiting on the
Imperial
Biden
Army.
supporters. The topic is we're still waiting on them Biden supporters.
Yeah, we're not gonna wait for long. We know you still got 3 more years to show up.
So there's the number Feel free to call in every Tuesday night.
Tuesday, if you want to.
At 7
Tune in.
p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Call the
Tune in.
number 516
Scary ass Biden supporters, you better
418
pick up the phone and call.
5996. And press 1 and you'll be added to the queue. We want to hear from you, Biden supporters.
Yeah, we need to hear from you,
Right
Biden
now.
supporters. Right now, we need to hear from you because, you know, we realize you got 3 more years to bump your head and be bamboozled and hoodwinked. You know what I mean? And, you know, we just want to hear a little bit about what you think about these, this last little stint of Biden's. I mean, how you feel about this? Like, currently, we feel like Joe Biden has been making all sorts of reckless decisions. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I said it. Joe Biden. Acting like a real hoe in
Joe
the office.
Biden, Jim Crow Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden.
Man.
This motherfucker
Sleepy Joe,
delusional.
Slowpoke
Fucking got
Joe.
Alzheimer's. He's fucking got dementia. He got these crazy demonic looks once in a while. Kamala Harris hiding out.
Right.
She only pick and choose when she
Over
want to show up.
She
Redenbacher's
didn't have to
son,
fire
okay?
her.
You got the redheaded demon doing the most pivoting ever.
She didn't have to fire
Motherfucking
her.
Kentucky
her
Fried
staff,
Chicken
some of her
General
staff.
son, okay?
She didn't have to let some of her staff
Wasn't
go.
it Jen Psaki?
Yeah.
Jen Psaki, the best pivoter ever. She know how to answer those fucking reckless ass questions the fucking press be giving her. You know, fucking Joe Biden talking about mask mandate, but he goes shopping with no mask.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, a.k.a. the real Ronald McDonald.
Joe Biden.
Man,
Oh, man.
Shiloh, what you got to say about Joe Biden?
I really don't think he got no supporters for real. I think whoever voted for him was doing some type of trend thing that they regret right now.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
They just said, I'm black. I gotta vote for Democrat.
He
Yeah.
said you ain't black if you don't vote for him.
That's like I told people I was a Republican. They was like, how could you be a Republican? Don't you know they're against us? I was like, bro, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Slap yourself real quick.
Jesse was what did you say he was a Republican for a
Yeah.
week the other day?
For a month.
Or a month?
Who? Oh,
Yeah.
Jesse was. I've been a Republican for 10 years. Now I'm Unity Party.
Yeah.
Now we both Unity Party.
Personally, I
That's
didn't
right.
vote for Joe Biden.
This
I think I
call
filled
is
out the
originating
thing while I was in the
from Ohio
restroom.
Correctional
Forgot to
Facility
mail it.
and may be recorded and monitored.
Yes, Ohio, we know.
Ohio.
I love Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio got the most crime.
With the over red, what's that popcorn called?
Over
Over
Redenbacher.
Redenbacher. Yeah, that's over Redenbacher's son. You ain't know that?
Mr. Over Redenbacher is just out of hand, man. He's just trying to. He actually, for real, man, he's doing the same thing Trump was doing.
Yep.
He's just doing it in a different area. Like instead of just saying, because see, Trump said a lot of like, oh, we're gonna mandate no Muslims coming to America. We're gonna mandate, we're gonna mandate oil. We're gonna mandate, we're gonna mandate the creation of vaccines. We're gonna mandate incorporating Walmart and
We're gonna mandate Jesus.
My Pillow into the federal government and stuff like that. And so Joe Biden, he ain't mandating that My Pillow be a part of the government. He's mandating that people get poison shots.
Yep.
So he's saying, I mandate you take this experiment shot, and I mandate your company comply. Like he's just going, he doing a little bit. It's the same thing, man. It's just a different plate, man.
Yep.
Right. It's the same enemy, different face.
That's it.
Well,
We tried to warn you, Biden supporters.
At least Trump was real, man.
Exactly.
At least Trump was real.
Well, Trump was scandalous.
I mean, they both are the exact same.
Yeah.
I know, but at least Trump will come out and tell you he hates you.
That
I want a motherfucker to tell me he hates
hates
me. That way I know where he stands. Don't come and tell me, hey man, I got some cookies in the oven. We gonna give it to you, neighbor, or some bullshit. You know what I mean? Got me feeling like they're my friendly neighbor. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit, man.
Right.
Come and knock on my door.
If you think, I don't think nobody think that Joe Biden is their friend though, because he too rude.
Yeah.
Shit. Man, if he's a Democrat, everybody thinks that he's for the people. He gotta be, without a doubt. That's Democrats automatically get the common folks vote for some reason. It's like, come on now, use your brain for a change.
And they ain't doing nothing tangible for
Your
us.
body look like a straight liar.
Yep.
Yep. Next
one.
Yeah. Okay.
Next
average
topic.
white dude liar.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. All white faces look the same. Next one.
Next topic, y'all. The Omicron variant. So now we got a new variant. How many variants we got now? Like 4?
At least 4.
Yeah, like
that's like the remix on the remix right there, man. That's like, Chopped and Screwed Part 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn.
So when was the last time y'all heard that you gotta take a flu shot 2 or 3 times for it to work?
Never.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep it real in the battlefield, man. I took the damn vaccine, man, the first time, and that's because I was kind of forced into it, and then now I'm just like, you know what, man, slap on the booster too, man, while we at it, man. It's too late now. You know what I mean? So I'm boosted up, vaccinated up. I'm gonna keep it real, family. I can't lie to you. But I'm not the poster child for motherfucking vaccines. Don't get it twisted. Don't take it if you ain't got to.
Right.
Now, see, if you getting forced to do it and you in a situation, that's
extortion.
That's the same thing as either rape or like
extortion
or assault. That's assault. So
it's called coercion.
Or somebody hurting you or somebody forcing you to get stuck with a needle. That's all assault. So that's different. An assault is different.
Did they make you do it,
Shallow? And a lot of people is in that position.
Shallow.
So I mean, it's obvious they creating the fourth one. What's up, Rich Brandy dog?
Did they make you do it yet?
Man, they don't got enough manpower to make me do no shit.
They ain't got enough SWAT to go in that cell and get him. He told me, I thought I was doing big shit by doing 10 sets of 40. My man doing 10 sets of 100.
See?
10 sets of 100.
That means Shallow gonna be able to pick me up when he get out.
Shallow's over there, man. He on.
You gotta give me a piggyback ride. We're gonna go down the block.
He on some muscle juice shit over there. He drinking muscle juice.
Are you drinking muscle juice? Shut up, Ramel.
I wish I had something
here. Hell yeah, motherfuckers. They got a whole team just waiting in case
Shallow,
that
sound like real haters.
That was like 30
there.
motherfucking police officers.
That sounds like some real
They
haters.
don't sell it no more. When they used to sell it, I used to drink that shit though. Hell yeah. People start getting too big though.
Yeah, no, they got a whole SWAT team in the locker room waiting in case he act up. They be like, they hit a button. They say Shallow acting up, like the panic button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. They really do that in Texas.
Yeah, so they
Shallow. Well,
got some old revolutionary shit in there.
Yeah,
that's where they come with the motherfucking shields and the motherfucking the pellet guns and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They had them out this morning.
Man.
To be honest,
they got the bean bags and shit.
They were fucking big bags
just
bouncing off your
just
chest.
like a little girl.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
them motherfuckers is like, they say he's a hardened criminal.
Shit, rock that title.
Man.
I rock that moniker real hard.
Stay black and dangerous.
Yeah, stay black and dangerous.
But they created that fourth one, man. They creating these to keep it going, to make a money scheme and to make the federal government pay their personal supporters and to pay their own interests while he's in office, so that people that he's friends with or that he want to be with in some type of business relationship with when he get out of office or that his family associated with can all pass rumors that he helped them capitalize while he was in office. So he's trying to act like he's not a capitalist while playing the capitalist hand, using the nation on the fear of a virus that they creating every other 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah, so this came out mysteriously out of South Africa, and now it's hitting America. And yeah, this is all staged. This is all part of that Agenda 21 depopulation.
Hell yeah, Rex 45.
Yeah, Rex 45 too.
King Alfred plan.
Yeah.
Personally, don't get the bags, Black family. Whatever you gotta do.
So we gotta come with our own game plan. It's called Frontline Campaign 187.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man.
That game plan is called Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Zombie
you ain't never
apocalypse.
Lie. When zombies attack, stay away from crack.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Damn, you coming back, Shiloh?
Yes, sir. I'm about to come back right now.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna be on the Jussie Smollett trial.
Thank you for using GTL.
OMG.
All right, so our next topic.
Jussie Smollett, man, I really wasn't following this case, and what I've heard about this case, I'm just like, how they gonna give that brother so much? You know what I mean?
So, for those that don't know, Jussie Smollett was convicted of 5 of 6 counts of orchestrating a fake hate crime against himself. This is from Chicago.
Wow. What they need to do is put that
affiliate.
motherfucker in an insane asylum over here somewhere like where I'm at. That motherfucker's crazy.
Clearly.
You do some shit like that, you got to be you need motherfucking medication.
He found him
I'm
guilty
do a
of
fake
this
hate
shit.
crime against myself.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
With Nigerians.
With Nigerians.
The
one he was having relations with.
Which one he was banging it out with?
One of the Nigerians he was having sexual relations
First of all,
with.
Nigerians
in the
are wearing
bathhouse.
MAGA hats.
So, for those that don't know.
Now, he seriously got a mental health issue. That motherfucker need meds.
Yeah, former.
He's schizoaffective / don't know who the fuck he is.
They don't be talking about schizoaffective.
All right, so let me give the rundown. So former Empire actor Jussie Smollett was convicted on 5 counts.
An inmate at the Toledo Correctional. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yes,
we want to
Ohio.
go global. We're in Ohio, just so we know.
All right, so former Empire actor Jussie Smollett was convicted of 5 counts Thursday evening on charges he orchestrated a fake hate crime against himself nearly 3 years ago, while jurors acquitted him of 1 other count. A jury of 6 men, 6 women deliberated more than 9 hours over 2 days before finding Smollett guilty of 5 of 6 counts of disorderly conduct, accusing the actor of staging a fake racist and homophobic attack against himself in January 2019 and then lying to police about it in a bid for publicity. Jurors found him not guilty of the 6th count of disorderly conduct.
Not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty. A deranged homo. That's what the fuck is going on. They need to give that man extra shots. They need to give him motherfucking Abilify, Thorazine, Haldol, Zyprexa, all that good shit in one watch. Just make him sit down somewhere.
We're gonna place it. Wait.
I'm confused.
Wait. Before we say
all them
else,
allegations.
I want to say
all them allegations sound like Joe Biden.
I want to say this though. How is it racist if everybody in the situation is black? You got 2 Nigerians. Jussie Smollett is black. First of all, Nigerians ain't gonna be wearing MAGA hats. That's one. 2, it's cold as fuck. Why is everybody outside? It's a blizzard.
It was a polar vortex.
Polar vortex.
Hey,
Is that even a possibility?
Yes.
It's a motherfucking
it's not
blizzard.
the blizzard, it's a blizzard.
Yeah.
It was a polar vortex. It was like below zero.
This call is
Right.
originating from an
Weeks.
Ohio
Right.
correctional
So
It
you
was,
need to tell
it was
me
a blizzard,
you're
not the
taking your
blizzard.
black ass outside for a Subway sandwich at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. Just
In
to
a
get
polar
jumped
vortex.
in a motherfucking blizzard, fucking God knows what.
Not a blizzard, a polar vortex.
Whatever the fuck that is. I've never seen one. I don't even know if that exists.
It does exist.
But
They happen in the Midwest.
but
where
you
the
going
jet
out there,
stream gets low enough.
you got 2 Nigerians wearing MAGA hats. Like, man, I don't even want to get into how this is not racial. This is not racist. This is just a motherfucker bored. And plus, he was making plenty of money. That motherfucker was on Empire. He was like the good son.
Somebody needs to slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, so I'm going to play this clip real quick.
Didn't Joe Biden just lie to all them police in Chicago and tell them they got to take that shot?
Yep.
Somebody needs to slap his ass too.
Yeah, but we're on the Jussie Smollett trial right now, Silo. So I'm going to play this clip real quick.
Okay.
Which we calling him Jussie Smollett.
Okay. It sounded just like, I promise you them charges sound exactly like Joe Biden situation, but
Without the charge.
the description of them charges, man.
Police department.
Because my thing is this, they do it all the time.
You saw what this
Hold on,
city did.
Silo.
A lot of times people say, well, police officers sweep things under the rug.
What this city did was a full and thorough investigation. That is a legal line in Cook County. His name is Dan Webb. He is a former U.S. attorney. He was the man charged with recharging Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett now found guilty on 5 of the 6 counts against him. That is breaking news this hour 18. And so ends a nearly 2-year-long saga. 9 hours of deliberations later, let's bring in our man on the spot from day one, CBS 2's Charlie DeMar. Charlie.
And Brad, Jussie Smollett found guilty on 5 of the 6 felony disorderly conduct charges that he was accused of. Special Prosecutor Dan Webb, he's actually speaking right now. He said this was a resounding verdict. I just asked him, I said, in all honesty, did you want all 6? He says it didn't matter. He says the jury, by finding him guilty on 5 of the 6, agreed with his theory of the case that Smollett orchestrated the entire hoax and paid brothers Ola and Abel Osundaro to go through with it for a publicity stunt. Again, I do want you to hear from Dan Webb. He's speaking right now. If we can take a look at that.
I understand this is a crime. He fucked himself up. So what? How's this a crime?
Because he lied to the police. It's a crime when you lie to the police.
It's a standard amount of money each day or each hour. You get paid on the hour. Special prosecutors are paid. When I told Judge Truman I would do it, I talked to my law firm, and we made the decision, if you're going to do this, then just do it for the public. I was asked
Stop breathing like that.
for my
Mel.
firm to try to help restore the lack of confidence in the criminal justice system because what happened here. That's why Judge Truman reached out to us, and I told him, we're going to do it. After we made the decision to do it, I told Judge Tillman we're going to do it, and we're not going to charge anything. So there's been, there might be out-of-pocket expenses of a few dollars. The answer is we did it for nothing. We did it pro bono. We did it because we thought it was the right thing to do. And
So they did it pro bono?
Say about State's Attorney Kim Foxx's decision against the charges now that you have.
Or is he Smollett's lawyer?
No.
And there you heard Dan Webb, the special prosecutor in this case. He took this case, and when he agreed to take this case, that he was going to do it fully. And he says, he's going to do this for the public and for no other reason other than to, for Jussie to have his day in court, which Jussie, he never did. So again, Smollett found guilty on 5 of the 6 counts. We have not seen Smollett come down from the courtroom Yet, when he did come into the courtroom to hear his verdict, it was pretty quick. He entered the courtroom, he took his coat off, he took a deep breath, he was dressed in a gray suit, a dark tie, and then the jury was brought in. The foreperson in this case identified herself as Miss Padilla. She handed the 6 verdict forms to the judge and then read them, all 6 of those counts.
That shit sounds like it was a rap from John.
Thank you, Dana, in the bullpen there. We're here asking questions to Special Counsel Webb, speaking of a lack of confidence in the criminal justice system. We know that Jussie Smollett said he was hate crime because he was black, because he was gay. The jury said that's a bunch of bollocks, to quote the British. Irv Miller, 2 questions. Did they get it right? And then most importantly, I think people want this to be the end of the book. Is there anything appealable? Did the jury get it right? Are we going to hear more?
You know, from day one, I thought that this would be a guilty verdict. It seemed to me that the corroboration of everything that the brothers said was put before the jury. From you saw videotape, you saw the police officer's testimony. You have the 2 brothers corroborated each other in their testimony. This case was corroborated, and that's what you look for in a criminal case. You don't just take somebody's word for it. You want corroboration, and Dan Webb put that corroboration before this jury. This jury got it right. And let me just say something. It's interesting that they found him guilty on 5 and not 6 counts. That shows they looked at the evidence, each crime individually, and exercised their judgment as to whether or not they thought the bullets were there by the prosecutor for each one of the 6 counts. They came up with 5. They didn't think it was there in the 6. I can't buy it because there's an issue.
Even though I'm not really into the homosexual thing and
due process rules under the United States Constitution for what Kim Fox's office did way back when, that made that
I know that the government
bar the second case. I don't think that's
they
going
do it
anywhere.
every day. They write a ticket on you,
and I think
or
this
write some
conviction will
charges on you with some shit that you did not do, and convict your ass. So he doing the same thing they doing.
Yeah, but he's going down. He's going to jail for it. He's going to prison for it. So the disorderly conduct.
And the only reason.
Go ahead.
Exactly. But the only reason he on TV is because he a homosexual black superstar. People and police do that shit every day.
Yep.
Word.
Facts.
I was just like, this is the most stupidest case ever.
Yeah.
For real, this is stupid.
It's kind of distracting.
Yeah, this case is dumb. Dude was dumb for doing it, and none of that is racist. If you got 2 Nigerians, that's the only thing it was racial is that he's blacker than you. They're blacker than you. Is that the only racist thing? Because they're black. You're black. I don't understand how this racist. And you was smashing one of them. You was smashing one of them. He was straight booty popping with one of them, man.
At the bathhouse.
So they could try to downplay the black people, period, and distract and make white people look at the black people like, look what these niggas doing right here. Look what the black people try to downgrade our decorous people, period, just using that case. Why would you put that case on TV?
Right. Well, they said he put a noose around his neck and threw bleach on him.
No, gasoline.
Or gas? No, it was supposed to be gasoline. No, they said they weren't going to use gasoline. They said they were going to use bleach.
Well, yeah,
that motherfucker was delusional.
He said one of the Nigerians said he didn't feel comfortable throwing gasoline on old boy. All right, whatever. But was you still comfortable when you was getting it from old boy in the bathhouse?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. I just gotta point that out. He was smashing one of the Nigerians.
He was smashing them.
How is this racist?
Delusional and unusual.
One was taking, one was giving.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Motherfucking ridiculoid.
So the charges for which Smollett were convicted dealt with him being falsely telling different police officers he was a victim of a hate crime and battery. The disorderly.
Can I say one thing?
Let me finish reading, Ramel, and then I'll let you
Yes,
say
sir.
whatever.
Go ahead.
The disorderly conduct charges are class 4 felonies, carrying a sentence of up to 3 years in prison. Smollett will remain free on bonds as he awaits sentencing,
and may be recorded and monitored.
which has not been scheduled. Smollett is due to appear in court on January 27th, when the sentencing date will be set.
So how about complicity to murder for that bitch that lied on Emmitt Till?
Oh,
What
we gonna
happened to
get to
that?
that.
Why they just
We getting
close
to
that
that,
case up
Silo.
again?
Oh, we gonna get to that. That's one of the topics for the show. We gonna get to that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
let's move that along because this case is stupid.
All right, so the next topic is Michael Strahan, who used to play for the New York Giants. Now he's a host on Good Morning America. He just went into space today on the Blue Origin, which is what's his face, Jeff Bezos space company. So there was a successful mission. So this article I'm reading for ABC News, it says Blue Origin mission complete. Recap: Michael Strahan reflects on trip to space. So the GMA, or Good Morning America, co-anchor joins 5 others in a New Shepard launch from West Texas. Good Morning America co-anchor Michael Strahan and the Blue Origin crew of astronauts successfully blasted off to space and back to Earth aboard New Shepard on Saturday morning. The December 11th mission was the rocket's third human flight this year and marked the first with a full astronaut manifest of 6 crew members in the capsule, according to Blue Origin. The mission elapsed time was 10 minutes, 13 seconds with the maximum ascent velocity of 2,244 miles per hour. Are you going to call back, Silo?
And may be recorded and monitored.
You calling back, Shadow?
Thank you for using GTL.
I guess not.
Yeah, I think he is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That look like a giant swallow.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a white phallus.
Is that what this called? Phallus?
That's what they should
Can
have
I ask
named
you a
it.
question,
It's called
Jennifer,
Blue Origin.
about the whole mission to fucking outer space shit?
Yeah,
It's
what
whack.
about it?
You know, man, would you want to go outer space and all that shit?
Look at the
Or would
uniform.
you use the money?
Scroll back, scroll down, and scroll down. Look at that uniform. Love the color. Look how tight it is.
Yeah, that is a dope uniform.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
I want to see if the Earth is flat. That'd be the only reason why I would do it.
What is that? You know it's that.
I know it's not,
What
but I
if you
want
go
to
out
see.
there and you get abducted by aliens?
That requires
That'd
him
be a trip.
getting out of the rocket, and that I don't foresee happening.
Right, they have to get me out the rocket first.
They're gonna hit you with a moonbeam.
Here, let's move this along because
Oh, this
it's gonna
is
take you forever. Okay, bam, here we go.
Show it.
Hello. This is a prepaid
Come
debit
on.
call from.
What's going on with this?
It's not playing.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
That's the landing.
Thank you for using GTL.
yeah, they're gonna hit you with a moonbeam and a tractor beam.
So he was
And
the
then
tallest man to
gonna be
go into
drinking
space.
moonshine.
He was the tallest man to go into space at 6'5".
Hey, did y'all get to check that out?
Yeah, that's
Hell
what
no, I didn't watch it.
Nah, I didn't watch it. I wasn't at home.
That was actually, I think that was a worthy broadcast right there. That showed a lot, man. I think it shows that, you know, as a country and just as a people, period, as human beings, we're coming a long way to be able to put, especially one black guy in the midst of those type of people.
Right.
In less than up his face, and that was a worthy feat right there.
Yeah.
And Michael Strahan's an eye dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stand-up dude, bro.
I won't say stand up. Now, I don't knock you if you feel that way, but I think he's all right.
He's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he all right. He ain't gonna stand for nothing.
Nope.
But he ain't gonna, man, he's just a neutral.
Yeah.
What's the name of the sister that's on the show with him, man?
Sister, that's a white lady.
No, there is a sister that's on that show, and she's very informative.
Oh my God.
Really Gail?
Yeah, you talking about Gail. You talking
Nah,
about
she ain't on that show. She on a different show. She on, you talking about CBS. Gail on CBS.
Yeah, Gail's on CPS.
I don't know, man. It don't really
Who's
matter. They're all
on
white.
ABC with him? I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
I don't know who that lady is, but she's like, she be dropping gems. She seems like she means well.
I think all of them are kind of just basic college people. Like,
There you go,
really,
Shiloh. There you go.
They're all neutral.
Yeah, they all neutral. Like, if you get your news up there, they'll talk about it. Other than that, they just trying to work and pay their bills and shit. They do.
All right, so here are my thoughts on the thing. He didn't pay for it. That's good. Did they pay him for him doing it? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
Because Ramel, stop breathing like that.
I mean, of course they paid him some type of royalty. They didn't pay him how we think about, but yeah, he getting some royalty and expenditures because they had a nice conversation. Him with Jeff Bezos and a couple other people. I watched them I watched the whole thing live, and they were communicating. So he's gonna get some royalties. So they ain't gonna be up front pay or whatever, probably like that. But he's gonna get all type of benefits.
Yeah. Keep going.
All right, so I'm gonna move us to the next topic.
Yeah, it's getting late. Try to hurry up.
So the next topic is Vaughn Booker. Vaughn Booker case in Indiana. So a black man who says white men threatened to lynch him is himself charged in what we know. So they charged this brother with defending himself. It was clearly self-defense. A group of white men attacked him and attempted to lynch him while at Lake Monroe on the 4th of July. Ramel.
Hey, Ramel, please.
Yes, that ain't me.
Who is that?
Whoever's breathing like that, stop it, please. You sound like a dragon or a pervert. All right.
Oh, God.
Carry on.
On the 4th of July, so two of these men were charged with a variety of felonies, including intimidation, criminal confinement, and battery. Last week, meaning this was back in August, Booker himself was charged with a felony in connection to the incident. Racists played a prominent role in both of the initial
Of course they did.
altercation as well as the unfolding fallout, capturing national headlines. Here's what we know about the ongoing case, and all parties involved in the altercation say happened that evening at the lake. Who is Vaughn Booker? Vaughn Rush Booker, 37, is a former Bloomington resident and local civil rights activist. He now resides in Seymour. At the time of the incident, Booker served as a member of the Monroe County Human Rights Commission and a leader within Bloomington's Black Lives Matter organization. Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
What does Booker say happened at Lake Monroe? According to Booker and his attorneys, the incident began when he and some of his friends were heading to Lake Monroe to view a lunar eclipse on July 4th, 2020. He said a group of white men approached them, claiming that they were trespassing on private property. One of the men was wearing a hat with a Confederate flag, according to Booker. Booker said he apologized when he and some of his friends later went to talk with the group in an attempt to smooth things over. He said 5 white men attacked him.
What?
We were calm and polite, but looking back now, it's apparent that these individuals began targeting our group the moment they saw myself, a black man, and were looking to provoke a conflict, Booker said in a Facebook post recapping the incident. Booker posted a series of what appears to be cell phone videos of the incident. The videos contain strong violence or strong language and gestures. One clip shows a white man in a red shirt pinning or holding Booker against a tree. Someone off camera can be heard shouting, "Let's get him," or "Let him go," excuse me. While the man holding the other man turns to the camera and tells them to leave. Other men and a woman, all white, are near the man at the tree and are shouting. At one point, a shirtless man tries to knock the camera out of the hand of the person shooting the video. Another video shows the same shirtless man calling a man off camera a nappy-headed, nigger. The man off camera replies, "What do you want? What do you really want to call me?" And the shirtless man repeats the phrase. The shirtless man in another video clip yells, "You invaded us," and calls another man a stupid expletive, liberal expletive, stupid motherfucker, and liberal motherfucker.
You improvise, huh?
Booker said another yelled get a noose during the altercation while someone else threatened to break his arms. The Confederate flag, noose, and arm-breaking comments were not seen or heard in the posted videos. After the altercation, Booker was diagnosed with a mild concussion at the hospital, and patches of hair were found that had been ripped out. Not everyone in the video has been identified, but Sean Purdy and Jerry Cox were charged in connection to the incident 2 weeks after it happened. They said Booker account of the events is inaccurate. Of course they say that. Long story short,
I think this dude was with his white friends and one
he got
black
singled
dude,
out.
all white friends. They go to the wrong spot.
He got singled out. They tried to lynch him.
Right. So he says, and it's pretty clear that that's what was going on. This case, they've been talking about it a while back. And
yeah, so I thought I'd bring this to your attention because Professor Black Truth was talking about it on his podcast a few days ago. So I thought I'd bring it to the show.
We heard it a couple months ago, though.
But it was another podcast that had brought it to our attention a few months back.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I just said mine.
I think this story is this might be an obvious story because if you were in Indiana, one of the headquarters spots for the KKK, and you think it's not possible for something like that to happen, I think that would be delusional anyway.
First of all, don't be the only black guy and going with all white friends.
Right, in Indiana, especially.
In the normal spot.
Yeah, you can't find no other black friends. You got to go camping with white friends
to see the lunar eclipse.
I mean, even if you did go camping, ain't nothing wrong with white friends. But you can't act like you surprised if you were in Indiana and you get captured by some racist people.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be the only black person there. That's like, I mean, he was basically the only black person there, and it didn't seem like any of his white friends were really trying to help him.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's what the video looked like.
Well, I mean, again, if you were in Indiana, you know what type of people you're dealing with. You were in Indiana, and you know these people wasn't right from the jump. What the hell are you doing in the woods with them?
Right.
Or that's what I'm saying. Needless to
And
say,
you talking about you a Black Lives Matter member.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of odd.
Yeah.
That sounds like Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, dude.
Needless to say, the shit happened. Dude put out some videos. Yeah, it was pretty outrageous videos. You know, he was all by himself. You know, he's a black. Just gonna put it out there. He's black by himself. Even if you came with a whole bunch of white friends, you're still black by yourself. What are you doing like that? What was your plan B? You didn't have one, and they try to get you, and they really kind of verbally and kind of chased you around the motherfucking forest a little bit. Yeah, this shit was stupid. Like, you know, again, just teaches you to be black and have more than one. Have some black friends, you know.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Don't you want to see the eclipse?
Yeah,
I want to see the eclipse. You know what I mean? Let's be black
I
together.
mean, unless
you know what I mean?
they could have been playing monkey in the middle, though.
Yeah.
They could have been playing monkey in the middle.
That's true.
And just caught the camera at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to be. Let's be black together and see the eclipse. No new white friends. You know what I mean? Because as you know, motherfuckers are gonna be lynched, and next thing you know, it's gonna be like murder of all these white people. Why? Why you try to lynch us?
Yeah, so it's my understanding that the brother actually beat this case.
Yeah.
They tried to charge him with battery, resulting in immediate or moderate bodily injury, a felony, and misdemeanor criminal trespass.
So he shot them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he had to get bucked, dude. Like I said, just go try, you know.
That's better than
Right.
Try to find some like-minded black friends to watch the lunar eclipse with you. I'm black, you're black. We like to see the lunar eclipse. Let's go together. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least we know we're safe. And there's that secret look, you know, we got to give each other when we're shit cracking off, and we know we got that feeling like, yeah, all right, shit's all cracking now.
But that case also shows a good lesson of what you need to do. You need to have your gun ready.
Right.
So if you do make that decision, you got the legal right to use, and that's what he did. He used his legal right, and that just shows. If you feel like your friends is unsafe, protect yourself, and that's what he did.
That's the one thing this brother did right, man, was
you
get
have
your power
1
tools together.
minute remaining.
Are you gonna call back, Silo? We got 3 more topics.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to like.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call right now, brother.
Okay. All right.
Thank
so
you for
the
using
next topic,
TPL.
Ramel. So yeah, we'll. So the update is the brother beat the case.
Good for him.
It was clearly self-defense.
Clearly.
And
good for him. I'm good on that because, like I said, man, if I want to go see lunar eclipse or anything that involves mountain terrain and something far out, and I know that white people might be afoot, I'm gonna take my black friends just in case. You know, that way we could gaze at each other secretly, give each other the look like. No head nod, just that look like. You with me? I'm with you. You know what I mean? And then, you know, because white people are oblivious to the motherfucking looks of black people, especially when we have suspicions on our minds. You know what I mean? We just have to look at each other and be right in the same vibe. Like, yeah, danger's afoot. Fucking racist supremacy is afoot. Motherfuckers about to have us dragging down the back of their truck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would just take your black friends. You never know. They might want to see the stars, too.
yeah.
I mean, like, shit, like I want to. And I didn't get to see the lunar eclipse. I want to see the lunar eclipse, meteors, other planets.
See the solar eclipse.
We didn't see none of that, so
I've seen the solar eclipse.
I didn't see the solar eclipse.
I did.
Did you invite me?
We weren't together then.
Oh, see, well, now you talk about something we weren't
An
together.
inmate at the Toledo Correctional Institution. To accept this call,
Well, I'm taking
press
my black friends
0.
with me,
To
okay?
refuse this call,
That's case in
hang up
point.
or
I'm taking my
press
black friends
1.
with me.
To prevent calls from this facility,
Can't take
this
Mexican
call is
friends
from a
with you. You never
corrections
know, they might
facility
switch up.
and is subject to monitoring and recording.
All right, so
Thank
the
you for
next
using
topic.
GTL.
All right, so the next topic is the Emmitt Till.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, let's get to that.
So the Department of Justice closes the Emmitt Till investigation without charges.
Oh, my God.
This is from the New York Slimes, or otherwise known as the New York Times.
This is saying Joe Biden people, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So the department said it could not collaborate the book's claim that a central witness had recanted her statements about Emmitt, a black teenager killed by 2 white men in 1955. Emmitt Till was kidnapped, tortured, and
That's what I'm
killed.
saying.
And
What would they have to recant?
that he whistled at Carolyn Bryant Dolman in Mississippi. That's what sparked the whole thing. That's what got him killed. And that's what sparked the civil rights movement of the 1960s.
They came and got the little boy out of his bedroom. You know what I mean? They came and got him.
That's horrible.
And they took him and they killed him.
That's horrible because so that says that just pissed me off real quick, because that says that so-called Joe Biden has his team of officials come out with this new mandate that say all racial issues will be addressed. And they pick up one of the number one most racist issues instead of
this call is
that is a fucking
Ohio
American
Correctional
atrocity
and
towards
may be
black people.
recorded and monitored.
American
they put it
atrocity.
alongside Jussie Smollett.
Yeah.
And they charged Jussie Smollett, but they say that it's okay that 2 white men killed this young black dude.
For no
Even if
reason.
it was only because he whistled at him. What the fuck recanting of a statement do you need?
Right.
You don't need no recanting statement. That statement alone is the issue.
Right.
Yeah, then he whistled at it, but let them tell it. Let the family tell it. That he was him and his brother were in the house with the family, and white people came to the door and told him that he had to come. They had to give up the little boy, and the little boy got. Yeah, he picked him up. He's just a little boy, right? He's a teenager.
He was 14, yeah.
Yeah, he's 14 years old. Picked him up and took him, and they destroyed that little boy. They destroyed him. He wasn't even visually available to see for his mama to put him down. They destroyed him. It
don't even matter if you whistle. What the fuck is whistling? A charge? That's not a charge. What's
Back
that?
then,
House arrest? What's that? Citizen's arrest?
Yeah.
Back then, you're black and you're looking at white women, whistling at white women, brushing against a white woman. Anything that had to do with a white woman, your ass got lynched. Motherfucking whole city burned down, destroyed. Look at Black Wall Street, fucking everything, man. Just for the thought of a fucking black man looking, whistling, gazing, swilling gazing, titty gazing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, against a white woman. Crimes against white women. You know what I mean?
And this bitch is still alive. Carolyn Bryant is still alive. She's got to be like 80 something now, and she's still alive.
That is one of the worst fucking atrocities against black people in American history.
So I'm gonna continue reading the article. So Atlanta, the Justice Department announced on Monday that it has closed an investigation into the abduction and murder of Emmitt Till, the African American teenager whose gruesome killing by 2 white men more than 6 decades ago in Mississippi helped begin the civil rights movement. What is all this?
Come on, man, with the background noise.
In a news release dated December 6th, federal officials said that there was not enough evidence to pursue charges in the case, which was reopened after a historian claimed in a book that Carolyn Bryant Domham, the central witness whose account of the encounter with Emmitt led to his death, had recanted the most scandalous, salacious portions of her story, that he had grabbed her and made sexual suggestive remarks.
First it was a whistle, then he grabbed her, and then he made sexual remarks, allegedly.
Citing the statute of limitations and Miss Durham's denial that she had ever changed her story, the Department of Justice said it could not move forward with prosecuting her.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility
bullshit.
and may be recorded.
I'm gonna tell you what 14-year-old really got that bold and want to grab a. What 14-year-old little black boy is gonna want to grab a old white woman?
1955.
I wouldn't grab no white woman.
Even if he did, that don't got nothing to do with killing her. But I mean, she's still liable for conspiracy to murder.
Yep.
Back in those days, it was something different, though.
Back in 1955.
Even if he grabbed that woman, that ain't no murder this boy charge.
No.
But back in those days, white people were taking justice in their own hands. But they felt like, oh my God, this white woman.
Down there in Georgia too, when they just did that shit to that young boy, that was actually a law. What they just did in Georgia was actually a law, and they still got convicted. So the shit they talking about was Emmitt Till was not even ever a law. That was just the shit they did.
Yep. So during a moment of the trial in which jurors were not present, Mr. Durham claimed that the teenager had made sexually vulgar comments toward her in physical contact. But in a book published in 2017, The Blood of Emmitt Till by Timothy B. Tyson, the author wrote that Miss Durham had recanted her testimony in a 2008 interview, saying that the earlier stories she told were not true. Nothing that boy did could ever justify what happened to him. Mr. Tyson, a researcher and historian at Duke University, quoted Miss Durham as saying in the book, Mr. Tyson's claim generated outrage and renewed calls for the case to be reopened. Kristen Clark, who leads the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, delivered the news to the family in person that the case was formally closed. In a statement on Monday, the Justice Department said Mr. Tyson, despite saying he had recorded 2 interviews with Miss Durham, provided just one recording of the FBI that did not contain a recantation. Mr. Tyson has said that although he did not record Miss Durham's recantation, he took detailed notes. Carolyn started spilling the beans before I got the recorder going. I documented her words carefully, Mr. Tyson said in an email on Monday, adding my report is rock solid. At a news conference in Chicago on Monday afternoon, Emmitt's family members said that they were disappointed by the result of the investigation, but not surprised. I did not expect that they would have found any new evidence, said Orly Gordon, one of Emmitt's cousins, adding, I asked, where do we go from here? The Reverend Willard Parker Jr., Emmitt's cousin and best friend, who was in the Mississippi Delta house when Emmitt was kidnapped in the middle of the night, said the conclusion of the investigation marked the end of a painful 66 years for Emmitt's loved ones. Today is a day that we will never forget, he said. For 66 years, we have suffered pain for his loss, and I suffered tremendously because of the way that they painted him. Miss Durham, 87,
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Has rarely spoken publicly about the case. Her former husband and another man confessed to Emmitt's murder. Although the confessions came after they were acquitted, by an all-white jury. Both men are dead. In the summer of 1955, 14-year-old Emmitt traveled from Chicago to Mississippi Delta to visit relatives. One day in August, he walked into a store in Money, Mississippi, ran by Miss Durham and her husband, Roy Bryant, to buy candy. Accounts vary about what happened, but a witness said that Emmitt whistled at Miss Durham. Days later, Mr. Bryant and his half-brother abducted, tortured, and shot the teenager. Then they tied a 75-pound cotton gin fan around his neck and tossed his body into the river. His corpse, broken, battered, and mutilated, was retrieved from the water on the last day of August. Emmitt Till,
That sounds like conspiracy to murder.
Yeah, it does. Insisted on an open coffin for the funeral, and allowed photographs to be published in Jet magazine, assuring that the whole nation had to bear witness to what is considered among the worst hate crimes of the 20th century. Despite the passage of time and civil rights movement.
People get caught up in the fact, excuse me, brother, I want to say that people get caught up in the fact of whatever somebody's trying to say that did not happen.
Yeah.
But what about if we just say, okay, that did happen? He whistled at the bitch, grabbed her ass in the store, and left. Next thing you know, her husband and them come and duct tape and kidnap the boy, and now he ended up chopped up or stepped on and brutalized. That means that she needs to be brought in for questioning about what did she know about because they didn't stop him or do a citizen's arrest on the spot. They would have got this man from somewhere else. That's a crime, man.
Yeah,
There's no way to justify that, in no way. It don't matter if he slapped that bitch and walked out of there.
Right. So despite the passage of time and civil rights movement, Emmitt Till's death has never faded from public memory. It has often been invoked as an enduring symbol of deep, unbridled racism. Historic markers erected at sites connected to his death have repeatedly been vandalized. The marker near the river where his body was found has been replaced at least 3 times because it has been vandalized and damaged by bullets. Mississippi has never escaped the story of Emmitt Till, and nor should it, said Susan Gilson, who worked with the town of Sumner, Mississippi, which issued a public apology and formed the Emmitt Till Memorial Commission. In closing this investigation, the Justice Department said that Ms. Durham denied ever recanting her earlier testimony. In 2018, Ms. Durham's daughter-in-law, Marsha Hawley Bryant, who was present for the interviews with Mr. Tyson, said that Ms. Durham never recanted. Reached by phone on Monday, Ms. Hawley Bryant said that she had no comment. Other relatives of Ms. Durham did not respond to several requests for comment. Before the current investigation, federal officials last revisited the case in 2004. They closed it 2 years later after prosecutors determined that the statute of limitations kept them from pursuing additional federal charges. As part of the inquiry, Emmitt's body was exhumed.
Oh my God! All right.
I see exactly who recanted. It sounds like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden recanted their statements that they was trying to uphold this black traditions of black welfare that they keep trying to mention because they.
You have.
I see.
1 minute remaining.
It's a lot of statements, but they don't got one.
Mm-hmm. Not one. So the latest investigation was part of the Justice Department's larger review of cases believed to be motivated by racial hatred.
Correctional Facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Over the past 15 years, the department has led several successful investigations, including the prosecution of Edgar Ray Killen, Mr. Killen, who died in prison about 4 years ago was a former Klansman who arranged the murders of 3 civil workers in Mississippi in 1964.
Brother.
Yes. Cold
Excuse
cases
me, brother.
never closed.
They done stopped the phones. I'm about to. We're gonna have to catch back up and reconvene sometime soon. God bless. But yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
All right,
Shiloh. Have a good night.
All right.
All right, Shiloh.
Love y'all.
Salute, General.
Love y'all.
Peace.
All right, salute. I love you too. Talk.
Thank you for using GTL.
All right, Ramel. We almost done.
All right, so cold cases never closed, said Keith Brokamp Champ, a filmmaker and producer of the untold story of Emmitt Lewis Till, and the upcoming film Till.
Oh shit!
There
We gotta make a film out of
may
this.
be a way he can continue to revisit one of the greatest injustices committed upon a child in American history.
All right.
Okay, so that's the article.
Yep.
So that's done. I'll stop sharing now. Ramel, do you have any thoughts?
Okay, run back that subject again.
Emmitt Till, the investigation closes without charges.
Okay. No, I thought you said something else. Yeah, man, what they did to that brother, man, you know, I don't think they could do anything to amend that, to make that better, to backpedal on that. I think that we gotta just let karma strike them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think these people, they ain't felt the wrath of the universe yet in its fullness, but they will. And those are my thoughts. I know that's kind of odd. My thoughts are kind of odd, but that's where my mind is right now. Fuck them. So,
Yeah. Unhoused Neighbor News, Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. All right, so we're down to our last topics of the night, and that is Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So the news is the sweeps continue. There's been over 120, almost 120 sweeps since last November. There's been 120 sweeps, and me and Lady Che were at a sweep on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, of the Arcus camp, and she can tell you more about it. Go ahead.
First of all, there's some weirdo hanging around me, staring me down. I can handle it. That's what. Two.
Cut the background.
Two. The sweep. That okay. So everybody pushed what we call it. The unhoused neighbors. We call that the river. We call it over there past the Broadway Bridge, the crossroads, whatever you want to call it. There was well over 100 tents over there initially. I got there late. When Chad got there, he was walking around filming, and I got there late because I had forgot how to get there because I'm on the other side. I remember smashing down the bridge though, and I was flying, and I just remember me being unhoused, living on that bridge. And so when they came and swept them, a lot of the people went up by the bridge or around the corners or whatever to a more out of sight, out of mind area. I feel like it is utterly crap because, you got the police telling the unhoused neighbors basically that once they go into the city, they could be ticketed and arrested with holding any kind of camping gear, tent or whatever. So we've been down there. We've been filming it and trying to organize some housing solutions, some tangible housing solutions with some of the service providers. It has been a real struggle for us on our end because, they say they have options. They say they have this. They say they have that. And we've been trying to put them to the test on it. We're trying to pull that bluff. We're trying to figure it out because, we got unhoused neighbors, and a lot of them are family to us that are currently unhoused. I got my cousin in the living room right now who he just went to the store for another family member and came back and his stuff was swept. And so, being that it's wintertime right now in Colorado, we had snow. It is cold. It is cold. We're riding around all bundled up and whatnot. But, I'm lucky enough to have an apartment where I can have my baby brother up in here. I can have my cousin up in here in the living room while me and Chair here doing our thing. I can have him in here for a minute because it is cold out there, and I like myself, like my cousin, we don't really have good circulation. We're always cold. So my cousin's feet still haven't unfroze.
Mm.
And he's still cold. He's still thawing out. You know what I mean? And that is fucking crazy. It's talking about black family right here. You know what I mean? You don't really realize that when you get out there that you're gonna be cold and that your feet, your hands are not gonna be able to move the circulation around right. And even if you do, the moment you start to warm up, you got the police sweating you. So I'm blessed that my cousin is here with me and my brother Jay. I'm blessed that Jay was able to help him with some warm gear for a couple of days so that he could warm up, because when the police came, he was at the store. He just managed to make sure he took his sleeping bag with him because he's that's just the most important thing he felt like he needed himself, and he just walked to the store. Time he get back, his whole tent, everything was gone. That is terrible. It's terrible how the police are doing them. It's terrible how the city's doing them. And he's not the only one. Then we got, at-risk youth. At-risk youth. I got a nephew out there that needs help, and the police are unwilling. They say they got non-shelter options, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yet they're not doing their best parts to help out. And it's difficult for people like me to talk to the police, without getting live or a little bit on the disrespectful side, because I feel like they're not helping. First of all, we already know the police are only there to protect property and whatnot, and they don't ever have the interest of black people in mind. And when it comes to at risk young black children that are that are going through it, we want the best for them. We don't want I don't want my nephew out there surrounded by youth that are already engaged in drug addiction, already engaged in the wrong, black family, already engaged in the wrong things, especially one that has the full potential of being great, goes to school, got a job, has a vehicle, he just lost his apartment. We don't want that. We don't want him to, go into smoking pills and get into that just want to fit in type shit. We don't want that, but we're seriously asking for help to make sure he gets on, the right housing plan and the right plans. I mean, is it so wrong to say that we don't want our black youth or our black family members to have to suffer any more atrocities, and the police are just not in agreement with it? I mean, is it so wrong for us to advocate for that? It shouldn't be, but it is. And that's what we got going on right now in the city. As far as the unhoused neighbors is concerned, homelessness is a humanitarian issue. We know that we're black first. We know that we're looking out for our black family, because we do have a collective of black family members out there that are really, really at risk, really trying to better their lives. My cousin right there out there in the world that I had on the show one day, her and her husband works really hard to try to get her and their family dog off the street, and are coming up with wall after wall after wall. In fact, getting arrested just for being outside, because some white person decide they want to call the police and say outside drinking, but when the 5 police officers come to get my cousin's husband, my cousin-in-law, they fail to notice the white people drinking beer right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems to be really, really terroristic to me. It's a form of harassment. I'm not digging it. And so when it comes time for me to talk to the police or try to talk to the police, it is hard for me. And I'm not gonna lie, like family, I have the worst problem with talking to the police. I try to be polite, but I'm very short tempered, and when I feel like low patience, I'm saying low patience. When I feel like some fuckery is afoot, or some supremacist ass comments, or the fact that as black people, you can tell when the police are looking at you like they don't give a fuck what you're saying. Say the wrong thing, and they can put you in the back of the car. They don't really give a fuck. I suffer from that shit religiously, and it scares me. And sometimes because like I'll use Che, for example, right? I'll use Che to go do this work. He's Che running for mayor, right? I run for mayor in the city. So he can talk to them because he knows how to speak eloquently to them in a way where they seem to submit and listen to him. And it's wrong. In my mind, I'm like, shit, cuz I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But in all actuality, when I have to do it by myself, I am afraid to talk to them. And that is not just my fear. That is every black homeless person on the streets fear, that they don't want to talk to them because they're afraid of the police. I'm still afraid of the police, and I'm only 58%. Okay, you see, Dick? I'm afraid of the police. My babe don't want to talk to us sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, come on, only you can do it. I hype him up so you can do it. But really, I could see it flash across his face too. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk to him because we know exactly what the police are there for. And they definitely don't care about our black youth. And that, here's the thing. Nobody talks about our black youth out in the city trying to get them back in school, or riding a bus around them and going picking them up, so that they can go back to school. They have them out there, seriously out there, hooked on drugs that they can easily get. Oh shit! Okay, I apologize, Black family. They don't have.
Got disconnected.
Yeah, they don't have plans for our black youth. And I'm fortunate enough that I have a nephew that I love dearly, and I don't want him out on the street. Would you want to see him in the street? No. He's a good boy, you know what I mean? Shit, when your rent is 15, put it on mute, Ramel. When your rent is $1,500 to $1,800 and you have to pay the bills of other people, and you're a young man, you're a young entrepreneur, and you're just trying to get your life right. You go to school, you do all this extra stuff, and you're actually doing good works, and they don't want to help you. That is when there's something wrong, family. That is when there's something wrong. I could understand if my little nephew was a degenerate, or he didn't have no aspirations for a great future, or he came from a crummy family or a bad background. But this is not the case. So we've been reaching out. I've been reaching out, and doing whatever I had to do. And if all else fails, open up my home to my nephew. Right now, his family got him a little bit, but at the end of the day, anything could possibly fucking happen. And I'm blessed enough to where, this is a voucher program too, but fuck it, man. I got my brother out there. I got my cousin out there. I wouldn't mind having my nephew here. Anything to get him off the street, because I don't want my nephew to fall into the trap of trying to fit in a world he don't fit in. I want him to be able to go to school and study his stuff right, do his little work, build his little capital up, get him an apartment again, do what he has to do without having to fall into a trap of living in a fucking tent, which is no good for nobody, especially if you're black. It's definitely no good. no good for nobody. Falling into the trap like, here, man, do this, do that. Why don't you smoke this? Why don't you do that? Here, drink this, do that. You know what I mean? And I know that it's like that. I've been the victim of being a motherfucking follower trying to fit into on the block or whatever. At one point in time until I grew up and it was like, I don't follow nobody. I do what the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm my own person. But when you're young and you're in your early 20s, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about 20, 21, 23, you know what I mean? You're susceptible to that kind of nonsense because you got older people walking around thinking it's okay to bring you in and later on use you for some other shit. Then later on rob you or mistreat you and put you in situations where your mama and daddy and your aunt and uncle are gonna have to come visit you in the hospital or later the worst place, jail. And that's what I don't want to see happen. And so me, my baby right here, we're working, we're calling around, helping, trying to get not just my cousin and brother in the other room, but the cousin, her husband, and my nephew, trying to get them into vouchers, whatever. And it seems like they really don't want to help the black. I want to say they want to help the Black family, because it's my family. You know what I mean? They don't want to help us. And it's like nah. But you're quick to offer non-shelter solutions to white people, and that's what gets me in trouble, because I'll say some shit like that because that's what I've seen, that's what we notice, and it's very clear to us. It's very clear, and when you see it happen often enough, that white people are getting the benefits that, even though it don't look like it, and everybody's unhoused, right? But white people are getting benefits if they so choose to take them. But they'll be so quick to offer a young man like my nephew, a young family like my cousin and her husband, older young man like my cousin in the room. Why don't you just go to a shelter? Well, first of all, shelter is riddled with motherfucking coronavirus. That's one. Two, anybody and everybody gets stabbed, hurt, robbed, fucking thrown out, beat up, jumped, I mentioned stolen from, punked, talked to like they are the worst individuals on the face of the planet, provoked, and i.e. arrested at these shelters, just for the simple fact of having a tone in your voice and not wanting to be demanded of and talked down to, or your things. You want to defend your whatever property you brought with you. You want to defend your body, yourself. Because contrary to popular belief, men do get pushed around up in there by other men with nefarious thoughts, and it doesn't lead to any growth. You wonder why nobody can get a job, nobody can go do anything? It's because they're tired. When my cousin got here, he was tired. He had been moving around, he was sleepy. He had slept for 3 days straight because he was cold and tired from staying awake, so he didn't get arrested, so he didn't get swept up. And the one time he goes to the store, he loses his belongings. I mean, that's ridiculous, Black family. That's what we got going on out there. And that's the Unhoused Neighbors News. Also, shit's still cracking off at the Union Station. I'm disappointed in a lot of people that I've seen doing interviews, that I know personally, doing interviews with them. The security is still just as heavy. Didn't we just go through that? We just went through there, right, the other day? Me and you?
Not the other day.
It was recently, though.
Recently.
Yeah. No, we did. We went through the train. Yeah, we went somewhere, right?
But we didn't go to Union Station.
Oh, we passed right through there. We got on the train, though, right?
We got on the train on 30
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, me and Che got on the train. My fault. We got on the train when we went to the sweep, and we were lucky enough to pass up Union Station. We didn't even go in that direction. The thing is that we were on the train, and I still got, and not only that too, you gotta recognize, we gotta talk about these sisters sometimes, and Black people to get on power trips. you know what I mean, with other black people, that's not okay either. You know, when you start acting like that with other black people and you start talking, threatening them and making illicit comments like, you know, just because you don't have time to look, the train goes fast. Sometimes you don't have time to grab a ticket from there. You know what I mean? And in my case, I was disabled. Me and Che had walked a long way to catch this fucking train, and we had to hurry up and get on the train. And a sister came on. She was, you know, she was fucking like kind of rude, you know, in my mind. And I know the rules, you know what I mean. But I have money in my pocket to pay for it. You know, she wasn't really hearing me. And she threatened me with an $82 ticket. Personally, I think if the sister would have gave me the $82 ticket, I would have ripped it up, threw it back in her face. Because she was on a power trip, she wasn't really polite. Look, check it out. You security. You know, when we look at things like that, you're not the police. You're just a security guard for the train. You're like a transit cop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see individuals trying to work with you and be equally polite to you and work with you in regards to, hey, maybe I didn't have a chance. I didn't come off no bus. I came off the side of the street. A long walk. That was a long walk.
Yeah, at
Long
least
walk.
10 blocks.
It's at least 10 blocks. And me and him walked just looking for a restroom because there was no restroom at the suite. Another problem, you know, for the unhoused neighbors. There was no restroom, and you know, me and Che, you know, I'm not homeless no more, so there's no excuse for doing certain things in the street. You gotta evolve, you know what I mean? And that's not to say that I don't recognize the fact that unhoused neighbors got to use the restroom any and everywhere sometimes because there is no restroom. We got tailed by the police trying to go use the restroom or ask, even just politely ask to go use the restroom in a 7-Eleven. They don't offer that. They take it away for the unhoused neighbors. So me and him are, you know, mobbing to this train. We get on the train. He had a ticket from when he took the bus earlier. I did not. And because for the most part, you know, I just drove down. And I didn't, you know, I was down there with him. We were mobbing, went back. I didn't have time. We had literally 1 minute to get up the ramp to the train, to the Amtrak. And we got on. The sister was like, she got on and she was immediately in some sort of aggressive power trip. And, you know, luckily my baby has his ticket. I don't have my ticket. He has his ticket. And I'm like, you know, I don't have mine, but I got money. I just didn't have a chance to get it, ma'am. And I'm in my most polite voice. And she's like, well, immediately hit me with the tone. You know, there's gonna be a warning right now. And the next time, you know, it's gonna be $82 ticket, and the next time it's gonna be $160. First of all, I'm thinking in my mind, first of all, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to like that? But I was just like, seriously? That's how you gonna do it? I was like, you see me, right? Like, I mean, you know, I'm in kind of like the most worst conditions sometimes when people see me. And I also think that too, you know, even from our own people sometimes, they may not get the respect at their job, so they might take it out on us. And that's me playing devil's advocate. You know what I mean? And it's still not a good look. Still not a good look, and it's not on code, and it's not uplifting your brother and sister. The best way she could have handled that would have been like, well, ma'am, I understand. Please, next time, you know, I'm just going to give you a warning. But please, you know, make sure you go ahead and get your ticket at the little machine right there. You know, if your husband could do it, you know, make him get you one if that's a problem. Okay, but you know, next time it could possibly turn into a ticket, such and such. But not, she had to raise her fucking voice and, you know, be extra demanding and shit. And in my mind, I'm gonna be defensive. You see what I'm saying? There's all kinds of ways to deal with us black family. You know what I mean? Like, just because we have a bad day at work doesn't mean we gotta take it out on us. You know, and there's other ways of handling it. That's my other statement. Even at the Union Station, you got a lot of security guards that are Black talking to other Black unhoused neighbors, and they're being real disrespectful. Granted, on the side, I'm gonna take that devil's advocate side. On the side of the security, sometimes they be pushing your patience. We get it. We get it. But sometimes you get more done with honey than you do with the other. Sometimes just being a little bit polite and a little understanding get you a long way to getting them out your way, and then moving on to a different location so they're out your way. Sometimes just being polite is the best way to go. Other than that, you don't got to be mean to everybody. If you think about it, Black family, if you think about it like this, how many of us are mean to you when a simple, polite demeanor will get you the best outcome? You know what I mean? We ain't got to be rude to each other. It's off code. It's not uplifting to each other. It's not empowering each other. And it's not helping each other. It's basically keeping us down. And it's keeping us in a state. It's keeping us in a state of emergency. And eventually we're going to put the derogatory Blacks and the derogatory whites together. And we don't need that. We need to just stay together and just learn how to treat each other. Right. Let's be polite. It's on code. It's empowering. And you never know when you talk to one of us, our black brothers and sisters, when we talk to them, we got to remember that we got to check our tone and save this bullshit for the fucking white people that fucking terrorize us and got malicious fucking intent towards us. And watch our tone, how we talk to each other, because we don't have to be mean. We don't have to be rude. We don't have to be judgmental towards us. We already know what we're on. Secretly, we can feel each other. Our vibrations are right there. We can feel each other. So the only ones we can't feel is the intent of the fucking oppressor. Okay? So we'll be mean to them. Let's be rude to them. Let's be disrespectful if we have to be to them. But to each other, let's just talk with even tones and calm heads, because that'll get us to what we need from each other. If you're working in the TSA, you're working in the TSA, and you're working in the Union Station, and you see a whole bunch of what you would consider degenerate behavior, just talk to them politely. Just say, look, man, I don't want to cause no problems. I just want you to go ahead and move along, because this right here is a disruption. I don't want the police to arrest you. So if you could do me that solid, that'd be great. Just go around the corner, go across the street, but then don't do it here, in a polite way. Or even with the police, first of all, there's a black officer just got fired for not taking the Vauxx. Okay, there's not that many of them out there as far as police endeavor. So if you're talking to Black officers and you're talking to the Black unhoused, talk to them correctly, talk to them politely, and they'll probably do exactly what you asked them to do. And they might even have some requests for you, and you do exactly what they asked you to do. And that's how it works. Because at the end of the day, you got to come out that uniform, and you're still Black just like us.
Period.
So we still got to talk to each other and be on code with each other, because on code means uplifting your brother and sister, no matter what. And that even means talking to each other, fucking, have a sense of understanding, get some understanding about yourself, and know that shit, at any given time, your Black ass could be fucking just as unhoused as we were, as everybody else is. You can be just living in a tent. The fucking whole world could come and crumble down right on top of you. And we're going to have to work together, because take a note from the unhoused neighbors, man, they know how to function. They know how to function, and they know how to work together. Yes, sir. Ramel, we're at closing statements.
That's right.
I want to say this too. We're going to be keeping an eye on our certain unhoused neighbors. And if anybody's watching in the city of Denver, you service providers, and I need your help. I've been reaching out. I would really like you to help me on a situation for some a non-shelter resources, because I know that's what the stupid enforcement team has been passing out. I would really like that out. I mean, I'm going to be reaching out on the next sweep. So please, if you know something, you can help me on that. reach out. I appreciate it because I understand when I reach out to y'all don't return calls, and I get it. Not really. I'm just saying that as being polite. I don't get it. I mean, isn't the point to house people? So reach out. And as far as the unhoused neighbors go, shit, if I have it, I'm open my spot up to my cousins and my nephew or whatever if I got to. But you just know that that's not a permanent solution. Permanent solution is housing. Permanent solution is
That's
housing.
right.
So that's what we here at the Frontline Black News advocate. That's what we do on the Revolutionary Agenda, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and any other platform that we happen to reach out on. Our agenda is housing.
Right.
Housing.
Housing is a human right.
Frontlinecampaign.org.
Yeah.
We approve that, man.
There you go. Closing statement, Ramel, and then closing statement, Shay. And thank you for watching. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ramel.
Fuck the police. Fuck America with 3 Ks.
Murdica.
Fuck Biden. I got a lot of lists of fuck yous to a lot of fuck boys and fuck people in offices. You know who you are. Take a bow. Bow down. You heard?
Yeah.
Come to your town.
Yeah.
And I just think that America's on some bullshit. If they want to get rid of the homeless situation, that could have been handled years ago.
Right.
They just don't want to put the motherfucking money into the community. They want to keep the money in for themselves amongst the police, the bureaucrats, and all that other bullshit, which don't mean shit at the end of the day. Think about your fellow human being. Think about your fellow man, woman, and child that needs help, that needs food, that's, in misery. But I guess that's how y'all make y'all money, by putting people in positions where they have to do crime. Mm-hmm. So that way you can put them in the prison industry, the jail industry, and make your millions and millions of dollars off of them. You're using poor people that you're forcing to be poor as a stepping stone, and that you're causing to be poor to be a stepping stone. The United States government, they're the cause of every drug addict, every drug dealer, every crime in the United States of America. And I just think that if you didn't know, you better know, because the system is fucked up, and the system's not meant to help you. If not, it's meant to use you against your own self. So at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day, I'm going to be myself. My name is Ramel, understanding the angel of peace from the east. Understand and understood in the neighborhood near you, bringing the hope without the dope. Official frontline campaign. Salute to the fallen soldiers, and salute to all the soldiers on the front line. Frontlinecampaign.org. Support us. Cop a mixtape, cop a book, cop any merchandise that we have, because it's going to good use. It's going to help and feed people who need that kind of revenue. Peace.
Peace to God. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, man.
I just wanted to say that too. I wanted to say, here at the Frontline Campaign, Revolutionary Agenda, do offer tangibles. We are selling Ramel's book and mixtapes, $10. You live in the city of Denver, I will bring it to you. If you don't see us at Black Dollar Saturday at the Cultural Center, which we're trying to go again. If you don't see us at Black Dollar Saturday at the Cultural Center here in historic 5 Points, the last place we got, please reach out. His book is a lot of 5% knowledge. He wrote it. It's very good. 24/7. I got mixtapes and you spend $10, I will bring it to you. Whatever you do, reach out. I got you. The other thing is, I wanted to say thank you for watching. Also, you don't realize, but we really pray and hope that our message is getting done. And this is our 40th episode, so we're celebrating it. We're celebrating our 40th episode today. Frontline Black News, and stay tuned for the Jesse Paris Chronicles, where on the Revolutionary Agenda, where I was sitting there asking this guy right here, who's running for mayor in Denver 2023. This was provoked by a Denver Wright article that they intentionally forgot about my guy. So since then,
shame on you, Denver Wright.
Shame on you, Denver Wright. So then we're not gonna let anybody forget that he's running for mayor. If you haven't noticed, you've been saying that shit for 2 years, Denver Wright. And every day, every Monday at city council, everybody named Mama know he's running for mayor, but you seem to have intentionally left him out. We ain't gonna say forgot. We're gonna say intentionally left him out, which is very racist to me. So I'm just gonna put it like that because I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna take that back. In other words, we will not let that happen. And anybody we decide to put up for office are gonna get the exact attention they need. And we're gonna be going. Me and Mr. Ramel Understanding are gonna be over here asking Mr. Paris all sorts of questions. We're gonna chronicle this up until the time that he runs for mayor.
What are you gonna do for white people?
That's on the spot. You didn't say nothing.
Oh shit.
Anyway, no. I'm sure there's a more political correct answer. But I stand on the nothing part. If you ask me, I would say not a goddamn thing. They've been doing for self for a long, long time. They needs nothing. But Ramel didn't ask me, so let's join us on the next prejudicial commentary later.
All right, so
it's action packed, man. It's action packed cinema over here with the Frontline campaign.
Yeah, we're
all
just
day.
kidding.
So thank y'all for tuning in to episode 40 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode 41.
Yes.
So make sure you stay tuned for that.
And
Peace,
Brother
love,
Shabaka and everybody
light,
will be here.
and Black empowerment.
Thank you.
Yes. Frontline Black News all day for all the crews.
Yep.
Peace.